Hey, so in this video, we are going to walk through the new FareHarbor funnel setup. This is something new that FareHarbor released where now you're able to actually track some of the data within the booking flow. This is great. Hopefully this will open up more opportunities for marketing to abandoned carts and doing things like that. But for right now, I'm going to show you how to set this up. One thing you're going to want to have handy is their resource right here. This is the FareHarbor Booking Flow GA4 Events Funnel page. This has a lot of the information that we're going to cover in this video. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video. But you're going to want to have this handy. The reason is because we're going to go down this list of event triggers, and not everybody uses everything. So I'll show you how to go through this in an orderly fashion. It's actually pretty darn simple and some little tips there. So let's just jump right in. So when you log into your GA4 account, what you're going to want to do is click on the Explore option right here on the left. Once you get there, you may or may not see anything here depending on what you've done in the past, but you're going to click on Funnel Exploration right here. All right, and then you're going to get to this page that you see right here, which is just a default funnel. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just make sure this is on Funnel Exploration. It should be a standard funnel. Personally, this is up to you, but I like an open funnel. Basically, an open funnel compared to a closed funnel means that people can jump in at different steps in this journey, not this journey, but the one we're going to create, and you can still count them. A closed funnel, or when it's not an open funnel, means they have to start at step one. You do not count visitors unless they've gone through step one first. So if you're really specific and you want to see how like people do an exact flow, then keeping this to be a closed funnel is perfectly fine for that. If you're okay with people jumping in at different steps, you can open it. Now, if you have it open, it just means that you could have steps that have more. Maybe this step, it has 100 people and this one's got 105 because there's extra people who got in there from a different path or a different way. Again, personally, I say open funnel for right now until we get more data behind how this works with FareHarbor traffic. And also I just want to see from my side of things, if it's open, I can tell where people are starting the process if it's not always on that first step. So we're going to do open funnel right here, and then we're going to adjust the steps. So for steps, basically what we're going to do is take this list, we're going to edit this funnel process, and then we're going to compare it to the FareHarbor checklist. So hold on one second. Okay, we're back on this page. Now keep in mind, FareHarbor, the way they tell you to do this is by creating a blank funnel. I just told you to create the funnel exploration option because some of these things are already set. Some of these settings that they want you to use or they recommend you use are already in place. Usually if you do it the way they tell you, this will all be blank, and right now we're going to be deleting it, overwriting it, and replacing it with what they would normally have. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete a bunch of this stuff. Let me just delete this, remove step, and remove step. We're going to add it back in. Okay, so now what we want to do is match the events in the order that FareHarbor shows them. So we go back up top here. We look for these events. So view search by date. We're going to go through this list. I'm not even going to name this until I know what the step is. And we're just going to say event is search. What is search by date? Let me make sure I have it right. View search by date. Sorry. View search by date. Do I see one? I see view search results. So you can see right now, this client is not using the view search by date option. So I'm just going to totally ignore it and go to the next one. Next option is view calendar. I'm going to go back through here. I do see a view calendar. We're going to add that as the first step. I'm going to name this view calendar because that's what it is. And that is what we're going to do. And then we're going to hit add step. And we're going to do the same thing again. And we're going to say view calendar single item will be the next step. And we'll see if we're using that. I believe I saw it. View calendar single item. And name it accordingly. View calendar single item. Whoops. And what I'm going to do is learn how to type. And after I do that, I'm just going to go through the rest of these and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Okay, so I went through all the other ones. We had all the other ones. Add to cart. Not everybody uses the cart functionality for their FareHarbor integration. But you can see I literally went down the list of these items in this order. Put them in here, looked for the event with the name, named it after it. When I need another step, I just click on add step. We have this all in place. I'm gonna hit apply. And I'm gonna show you a couple other things that we can do here. And you can see these view calendars, this is what I was talking about before. These view calendars are not always being used everywhere. we're getting a lot more people that just view the item description and then follow that path. But it gives you some really cool information. Now, we've got a device breakdown here. I'm going to delete that for just a moment, and I'm going to show you a couple things you can add. I just wanted to mention, if you're like, what does all this mean? You can see right here that they tell you in this document like what each step is. So if you're like, what does that even mean? What the heck is a view single event? It's this. So they did a pretty good job documenting what it is and how you can use it. And they also have some documentation over here as well. But a couple things that I think make sense. I personally like to add, because we love Google Ads and we love ads over here. I like to see a couple things related to ads. So for a dimension, I'm going to look at, so this is pretty good if you want to see how your different traffic sources, whether it be direct or referral or paid traffic, how they're performing for a particular step. It can be pretty helpful. Not necessarily 100% necessary, but something you can use. One thing I definitely like to use is show elapsed time. This is great for seeing the time between steps. So you can see like from view, book form to add to cart, 19-hour difference. Again, like having these a little bit off here might skew things just a little bit, but it's just helpful to see like how long it takes to get from one step to another. And I think that comes in pretty handy. We have that, and what else? Oh yeah, that's right. And so we also have some segments over here if you wanted to see paid traffic, mobile traffic. This could be helpful too, because at least now you can get an idea for how things are performing on different devices. A lot of times people don't, I don't know why it's doing that. A lot of times people don't check some of these things, and like maybe their mobile checkout process is much worse than their desktop. So this could be good to see different segments if you want to see that data as well. So you can see this is how our mobile looks after just having that segment on here. So let's just say our completion rate on add to cart 71%. Get rid of that. Again, you could just look at your desktop traffic or tablet traffic if you want. Add another segment in there. Remove that, it's still 71.9%. So it's not a huge difference in this particular case. Generally because a lot of the traffic we're getting is mobile, like most people. But anyway, the point is if you wanted to see different segments and comparisons, you can come in here and you can add them in there. No big deal, but it's pretty good, pretty cool. And you'll be able to get a feel for what your drop off looks like, where people are starting in the flow. And of course, the starting point depends a little bit on how you're using FareHarbor on your website. And then just seeing some elapsed time between things just comes in handy. So we're excited to see what this will do if we're able to trigger off this certain other things in the future, and especially the abandoned cart. If we start getting functionality like that at some point, maybe we can fire some events to create audiences around it, but I don't know. So anyway, hope this helps. Take care. God bless. Thanks for watching.